Hello and welcome back to the channel and another War of the Worlds video. In this one we're going to be going over all the things that we can expect, or well, no, maybe not all, but some of the things that we can expect from the release of War of the Worlds when it goes into early access early next year. Before I get started, I just wanted to give a quick thank you to all the people that went over to my TikTok that I recently started the other day. I posted one video on there and the page has already blown up. At the time of me making this video, I've already got about 170 followers and the video I posted has reached a whopping 34,000 views with over 3,000 likes in just 2 days. That's insane. So thank you for those that went over and showed support to get the ball rolling. You know who you are. What's even more crazy is that this isn't even the only milestone that we've reached recently. Just the other day, this channel has reached over 3,000 subscribers. It's all happening at once and it is just crazy. To think that I started covering this game only 5 months ago, and back then I only had 300 subscribers, and the channel has just ballooned in size since then, and it's mostly down to you guys, because you guys have such like a huge passion for this game and, you know, a massive encouragement for me to just keep making content on it, so thank you for that. If you want to join in on the action, then make sure to drop a like on this video, share it with a friend, and most importantly, if you haven't already, you should subscribe and ring the bell. Enough of that though, enough of the plugs, let's jump straight into the meat of this video. So, we know the game is releasing early next year in early access. What is the state of the game going to be like in early access? Because, you know, early access means that the game is not finished. Well, I thought about this and decided to approach the lead developer Raf and find out the most important things about where the game is going to be with certain features and some of what will or will not be in the game at the initial release on Steam. So, firstly, I asked if multiplayer will be ready for early access and what stage of development it is currently at. Now, to no surprise, multiplayer will not be ready for early access release, so unfortunately, we won't be able to experience this game with our friends straight away. But I don't think that's something that's going to be bothering many of you, because according to a recent poll I did on my channel, the majority of you actually said that the game mode that you were most hyped for was in fact the single player. Now, I can definitely see why this is, because the single player will be the most authentic experience. When you bring your friends in, it will take away part of the horror element, and it will make it more of a funny experience, like watching your friends bricking it whilst running away from a group of aliens through a house, so I can't wait for that, because that's going to be brilliant. In terms of where the multiplayer development is at though, currently it's not even begun, as the devs said that they're at 0% progress with the multiplayer, so that is a bit disheartening, as it means we probably won't hear anything about the stage of the multiplayer development for a while. Probably not until after the early access release, but it is what it is, I guess. Next thing I asked about was NPCs. Now, currently there aren't too many NPCs in the gameplay. As you can see from all the recent gameplay videos, there's only really a handful, and that's because they aren't fully optimized yet. I remember Raf mentioning a few months back that he had to reduce the number of NPCs on the map significantly because of all the lag they were causing. But not only that, they tend to just walk around really passively, and you can't do much interaction with them besides just robbing them at gunpoint, and obviously you can kill them, but there's no real benefit to that at this stage. So I asked these two things. What is the approximate number of NPCs that's going to be at release, like human NPCs that is, and how aggressive will they be, or I guess the more generalised thing is how active are they going to be, as they're currently really passive. The second thing I asked was, will the number of NPCs dwindle as they get killed off, or will more respawn throughout the invasion? To which Raf didn't really share anything, as he basically just said that an NPC update will be coming out later on, and he'll reveal some of those details. So I couldn't really find anything out there. What I did manage to find out though is when we'll begin to see the harvester pods actually picking up NPCs and placing them inside the cages, because currently they don't do that. You might have noticed that how, you know, there's been absolutely no footage of harvesters picking anyone up besides the player. Well, Raf has said that once he's got all of the bugs ironed out with the harvesters, he will implement that feature, and that it's going to be pretty soon. So, reading between the lines here based on what I just said a minute ago and now this, is there a new gameplay video coming soon? Next up, I asked about how far off dynamic destruction is, as this is going to be a major feature when it comes to hiding in buildings and how safe they're going to be. The plan obviously is to make it so even in buildings you really are not safe. In fact, there's going to be a very small number of places in the game where you will be safe, and houses ain't going to be one of those places. Raf said that he has no ETA for dynamic destruction, which leads me to believe that it won't be in the initial early access release build when the game is, you know, coming out on Steam, which again is a shame, but but Raf is fast at getting these early iterations of new features out, so if everything goes smoothly, there is a chance that we could see dynamic destruction by the time the game releases, but it is really up in the air right now. So those are the major features I wanted to talk about. Now let's move on to some more specific things, first of which being, as we saw from the latest gameplay, you now start off the game as the storm is going on already, where the first pod rises, and you know, we've all seen it by now, we've all seen it. But what I wanted to see is perhaps an option where you can spawn in and walk around while the world is still kind of normal. So there's no storm, all the power is on, and then the storm rolls in, which knocks out all of the cars and the lights, etc. And Raf said that he's gonna see if he can add something like that, just a little bit in before the storm. Now, this obviously means that there's going to be more of a build up to the actual game getting going. With some people, you know, they may not like that. So let me know in the comments, you know, whether you like this idea, whether you don't want it. Obviously, even if he does implement it, there probably will be an option to just skip straight to the storm or to the pod rising, you know, or any day in particular in the invasion. It's going to be really up to you how you want to experience it. But personally, I really like the idea of, if you wanted to do it from start to finish, you start off and there's no storm, and then the storm comes in and then the whole invasion kicks off. Next up, I know a lot of you have asked me about whether we'll be able to damage and destroy the probes. Now, in the 2005 film, you can see Ray is able to pretty much decapitate the probe with nothing more than an axe. So naturally, yes, you will be able to damage the probes. To what extent, I'm not sure, and I don't know how the probe is going to react. I presume it's just going to zoom out of the building, and then the tripod's going to be all mad and stuff, so you're probably going to die is what I'm saying. Last point, which is a big one, I asked if the map will be expanded on more, as it is a bit small, and yes, there will be more expansions and the world will receive more love once the core mechanics are completed, which is pretty fair since, you know, you've got to fix the shit before you add more shit. Anywho, that's everything for this video. If you did like it, please do give me a like, as it helps me out an awful lot for the algorithm. Be sure to follow my Instagram and now my TikTok, as I'll be posting more random gaming stuff and some IRL stuff there. But most importantly, do subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you get notified when I post a new video. Links to all of those things are in the description. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to my members, Adrian Animation Studios, Paddy, and Not Someone Too. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support the channel. If you also want to directly support the channel, then make sure you click that join button underneath this video or on my channel page. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and I will see you next time.